Hello everybody, my name is Connor and I am here with another Crocodile game. We are playing against Yamato and man, one of these days I'm going to build Yamato for sure. She just seems super fun, but this is the only dice roll we win, so we decide to go second, which honestly, a little stressful, but I mean, I feel like going against Yamato in general is pretty stressful just because that double attack is it's hard to play around, and I definitely expressed that to my opponent. This ended up being a really good game. I'm really excited to go over it. It's been a couple days since I played it, so I may not remember 100% of everything that happened, but you know, we'll do our best here. So my opponent goes first. They get their Dawn, and I think they just pass turn, and we get our 2 Dawn, and we draw, and we get another arrow. So we have 2 arrows, a blast breath. We have a lot to counter out of attacks, which is good because it's Yamato. So this turn, you know what they're doing? Hitting me in the face. Yep. And this was something I kind of figured I was gonna take. It is an 8. I do have a blast breath though, so I use blast breath to play out of it, giving him 4,000 power, minus a Dawn, get it back active with Croc ability, and he passes turn, and we still have 4 life. It's incredible. So I do have the Miss Wednesday in my hand, and I am thinking about playing her, but I'm gonna poke 6 into his life, see what he does. He ends up taking, so he's at 3 life, which is great for us. We play out the Miss Wednesday, and yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident. He has no bodies on board, so I'm feeling like I can take his next hit, especially because my the only other counter I have in my hand is the arrow, and I have to be at 2 life for that. So 1 Yamato hit, and I can, use arrow. I don't have the Dawn up to do so, but with Miss Wednesday, I should be able to get some up. So he swings, and I Miss Wednesday ability, Dawn minus, Croc ability, get my Dawn, and I could Miss Wednesday it, but I decided not to. I take both hits. I end up triggering out Miss Valentine here. I think that's her name. And we get a search on. We don't have a Croc, so we do see that Croc, which is nice. And we have the choice between Croc and Bond Clay. I just got a Bond Clay from life, so I am taking Croc. It is kind of sad to send Katakuri to the bottom of my deck, but Croc is so good in this Croc deck, so I'm not super mad about it. So he taps his 2 Dawn and plays the Rosinante blocker, and passes turn. And then we top deck another Croc, but it's okay. It's the pretty Croc that we top deck, so that's good. So we're at 5 Dawn, and I tell him, I'm like, hold on, I'm getting weird about my Dawn. I have to have my 6. I'm at 6 Dawn. I have to have my 6 Gray Croc Dawn, and at this point, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. I'm thinking I'm gonna drop Bond Clay to get the ramp, and that'll leave me with 3 Dawn up. I do want to leave 1 up because I can use arrow, and yeah, I'm just counting my Dawn there, because you know what I always say, math is hard. So I think I could have attached some Dawn here. I'm not exactly sure why I didn't. I think I might have not done so because I wanted to be able to arrow out of 2 attacks. But we drop Bond Clay, we get a Dawn, and I think we just go ahead and pass turn. We do have the Miss Wednesday to block, to use as a blocker, if we so choose. I feel like at this point, I'm at, 7 Dawn? So I'll be on 9 Dawn. We can block with Miss Wednesday. It is nice to have Miss Wednesday, but if we need to block with her, we can. So my opponent is sitting. I can't count all the Dawn he has, but He goes ahead and swings. I miss Wednesday ability minus Dawn, get a Dawn from Croc, and I am looking and I'm trying to decide what I want to do. I go ahead, tap a 1, and I play out the arrow. I'll put a picture of arrow on screen just so you guys can see what it does, because it is from starter deck 9, which is the yellow Yamato starter deck. So it gives us +4, and then I 2k out, so I don't use another arrow. We still have our other arrow, and he plays out Kikinojo, which is understandable. So we get 10 Dawn, and the OCD is kicking in with the need to have the Dawn in the specific order. You know how it is. And at this point, I am thinking about dropping Yamato just to get rid of Kikinojo and kind of see what happens there. So I swing 5. He gives me Nekomamushi to counter. I swing 7. Yeah, I'm telling him it copies Kikinojo, so 7 into life. And he 0 events, trashing another 0 event. And yeah, I'm trying to decide if I want to I could play Croc, or I can use Yamato to kill one of his things on board. And I think I am gonna play Croc. Yeah, I'm definitely more comfortable with that play. I like that play a lot, and I do remember to minus the 2 Dawn. So shout out to me. Good job, Connor. And then we pass turn, and yeah, honestly, I feel pretty okay with that turn. We do have 1 Dawn up for the arrow. I know with Miss Valentine and Croc, and we could get the Dawn back, but I'm not very good at math, so I do like leaving the Dawn up, which may be an absolute tell. It probably is an absolute tell that I have a counter card. But you know, when I get better, it's one of those things I'll keep working on, guys. Speaking of, again, thank you guys so much for all the comments you guys have been giving me about, you know, places where I could have played better, or places where, you know, my opponent might have, you know, and my opponent and I might have misinterpreted a card and stuff. I really do appreciate it. I do want to take the judge's exam. I do want to become a judge for my locals, especially with the store tournaments coming. So I think while playing in the store tournaments would be fun, I think being a judge would be really cool. So yeah, so I appreciate all the feedback you guys are giving me. It's helping me learn a lot. So he plays the ISO. He rests Miss Wednesday there, which is very unfortunate for me. And he's trying to decide what he wants to do here. I feel like I could Croc ability, and I kind of want to hold on to Amaru. But he swings massive, so I miss Wednesday ability, get a Dawn, and I take the hit. We get another Yamato. We get 2 Yamatos out of life, so we have 3 of our Yamatos. So, and we're at 1 life now, if I counted correctly. Yes, we're at 1 life, so I could potentially I could Yamato and gain the benefit from that. So I'm trying to count how much, because I have no counter in my hand. He rests my blocker, so I have to take this life, and of course my last life is Capone, and there's no one to use it on. So I'm like, yeah, that's where he usually is in my life. I don't know if any fellow Dirty Yellow players experience that too, but he doesn't end up killing my Miss Wednesday, so I'm like, thank God. And I'm thinking this is the perfect opportunity to drop a Yamato, and I think I go 6 into Kikinojo, just to kind of see what he does, because if I feel like I'll probably blow up Kikinojo if with the Yamato, and I go ahead, I tap 9, bump my camera like I usually do, and I think I blow up Rosinante. Yeah, okay, I can't blow up Kikunojo, but I do blow up that Rosinante, which is good for me. And I swing a, he countered out of that hit, and I go ahead and I remind him, like, pretty soon here, I'm like, hey bud, you get don't forget, like, I KO'd Kikunojo, you get your life. And he's like, right, thank you. And I'm like, yeah, but you know, if you win, you're welcome. You know, just giving him a hard time, having fun. But he did counter out of the initial Kikunojo hit with a 0 cost event and a ace. So he is low. I know he's low on cards in hand, and he just hit 10 Dawn. So we, at this point, he's got 1 character on board, and we have a pretty solid board already. I want to keep Croc alive. Unless he has another Ezo, he can't get through Miss Wednesday. So I'm feeling, even though I'm low on life, I'm feeling pretty good. So he swings. I think he's swinging into life, either life or Croc. I'm not sure. I think life. I Miss Wednesday ability, and I block with Miss Wednesday. She's done her job. We have ramped successfully. Honestly, Miss Wednesday is one of the best cards I feel in this deck. She's so useful to help ramp, and like Bon Clay is wonderful, but Miss Wednesday, the real MVP, in my opinion, after playing this deck. And yeah, no, and this week, so there's this game, I'll be posting another Croc game, and then we'll post 2 Odin games. So he swings with Izo, I counter out with Capone there, and he drops the blocker law. And I am he uses Izo he brings Izo back, plays her out with law, and I'm like, can I read that real quick? Like, it's been a hot minute since I've seen that law. I ran it when I was trying to run Sanji. I'm determined to get Sanji to be an okay deck. So if you have any ideas about that, link them, let me know, dude. Let me know. I am a big Sanji fanboy. I definitely need to make a new Sanji playmat, honestly. The Sanji playmat I have was the first playmat I made, and I hate looking at it now. So yeah, so he passes turn, and we're gonna Croc this turn. Yeah, we have Croc. We have another Yamato, but we go 7 into life. He takes that. I was kind of hoping he would use a blocker. So I swing 9 into life. And just the thing about Croc that's so fun, is with the Yamatos and the Crocs, he has so much sustainability that you can go low early, and then once you get to 10 Dawn, you just kind of are really hard to kill, assuming you see Crocs and Yamatos. And I do play Gecko Moira after this game, and I saw none of that and got slaughtered, so I won't be sharing that with you guys. But I swing 5, 6, 7 with a lead, and he drops 2 cards to counter out of it. I'm okay with that. I haven't swung with Croc yet. I'm gonna go ahead and swing 9 with Croc. Croc being an 8 cost 9k is so great, honestly. Yamato takes that life, and I go ahead. I tap my 8, and I drop Ugly Croc. Just kidding, Croc can never be ugly. I love him so much. And we gained a life. So we're at 2 life. And I feel like not even that long ago, we were at 0 life. So, Croc doing the most. And yeah, so my opponent passes turn. He did get a Nekomamushi out of a life trigger on that last life, I believe. So I remember that was the only trigger he got, which I was like, thank God. That is great for me. He swings pretty big with the double attack here, and not much I can do about it. I can use one of the Croc abilities to cycle, and that's what I do. I use Croc ability to cycle. I get 1 Dawn back. I draw a card, and I get another Croc honestly, I dropped the Yamato because there's not much on his board that can be popped, and I have another Yamato. So I use that Croc ability. I don't get the Dawn back because of because I already used Croc's ability, and I dropped the other Yamato. I think that's a pretty solid play. And I'm trying to decide if I can counter out of it. So I'm doing math, and math is hard. So, because I would love to be able to counter out of this hit, specifically because I don't want to go down to 0 life. I worked so hard to get my life back up to where it is. So we arrow, which minuses them by 3, and then we 3k out, and we are able to get out of that attack, thankfully. So shout out to the Croc ability. I have nothing in my hand though, which is very scary. But you know, if I can get through his board here, we potentially could have a game. It really depends on what he plays. And yeah, I don't remember about what he plays. So he swings 5 into my life, or yeah, he swings 5 into my life. I get his double finger, and I don't trigger it out. I don't think there's a reason to, and I want that 2k right now. So he ends up tapping. So oh yes, I remember. He plays Momonosuke, and I think it's a Land of Wano character, so he puts Nekomamushi into his life. So he's got 2 blockers up and another life, and I was wondering, because I looked at the timestamp and I was like, this video goes on longer. Why does it go on longer? Because he gets a little life gain. So I take that hit, and I get Miss Valentine, and I'm okay with that. I get another arrow, which is great. And we have a pretty massive board, so if we can get through, I think we could do some serious damage if we can get rid of those blockers. That's the big issue. And we are at 8 Dawn. I thought I fumbled the Croc play for a second, and I was nervous. Oh, excuse me, we're at 9 Dawn. You know what they say, math is hard. So he leaves Bon Clay up for a long time, and I'm thrilled about that, because we're getting these easy 6k swings in at him. And he goes ahead and blocks, and he forgets if his blocker dies, and I remind him, like, yeah, you gotta give me a 1k if you want him to live. He swings, or I swing 9, he blocks, I swing another 9, he triggers out, and I swing 9, bump the camera, and we are able to get it. So I'm just telling him I got 2 counters out of life, but that was what my hand was looking like. And honestly, this game was so much fun. I really had a good time playing against Yamato, as weird as that sounds. Like, having to think around that double attack was really great for me. So I feel really happy with how I played that game. And my opponent was just a really chill guy, really fun to play against. So that always makes games really fun. And, you know, we both walked away saying that, oh, that was a really good game. That was a really good game. So that was great. But as I mentioned, the next game I do play against Gecko Moira, and I get smacked around. Don't see any ramp, don't see any life gain, and Gecko sees everything he needs. But I will be posting a game versus Anel. Not only am I playing one of my best friends, but I am. It was a pretty good game until the end. So I hope you guys are excited about that. But again, I do want to say we did hit 100 subscribers. So thank you guys so much for that. That's so awesome. I really have been enjoying this, and as I've mentioned, like, I know I've improved. Like, you guys reminding me to minus my Dawn. And now I hope you guys see that in this tournament I feel like I did a really good job remembering to minus my Dawn, and that's all thanks to you guys. So thank you guys so much for commenting, liking, subscribing, all of that. I couldn't do this without you guys. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you guys so much. If you like this video, hit that like button down below. It helps me out more than you could ever know. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new. And I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.